firstly, thank you so much to all of my friends in the media in Delhi for turning up, and this is a very momentous occasion for us, not just as the team behind this particular film, but also as representatives of our industry from Kerala. Uh, we have had an illustrious heritage of making great cinema for a long, long time now. And thankfully, of recent past, there's been a lot of conversation around Malayalam cinema and the content that's being made from Kerala, and we are truly privileged to be representing an industry as such. But having said that, this particular film is an aspirational project for all of us in Kerala. This is a piece of cinema where we have aspired to dream very, very big, and we are really trying to push the boundaries of what we imagined to be possible within the constraints of our industry, which is a reason that we were very particular that come the 27th of March, we would like our film to be released in all 5 languages across the country and across the world. And I'm particularly looking forward to the responses for the Hindi version of the film for a couple of reasons. Firstly, we have put in a lot of effort, time, and money into trying to make the Hindi version of the film sound, feel, and look as authentic as possible. Secondly, like I've mentioned this multiple times, a good 30 to 35% of this film is in Hindi, it's shot in Hindi, because the story is such, the characters are such, that a large part of the film is Hindi speaking. And I'm going to retain the Hindi speaking portion of this film as Hindi speaking in all 5 versions of it. So I'm very keen to know what the responses for the Hindi version of the film is. And I'm very confident to be putting myself out there and telling you that if you're a Hindi speaking film lover, please do watch the Hindi version of this film, because that's how much work we have put into it. Even the track that you just listened to called Phir Zinda, it is not a Hindi song for the Hindi version. It is going to be a Hindi song in all 5 versions of the film. So once again, thank you for coming. Thank you for giving us your time, and we will need all your project of us. Thanks.
Thank you. Wants to cook something North Indian.
My God, what a question. Okay, good afternoon. Thank you each and everyone for joining us. I'll answer later, okay? I'm so happy. I have been here a couple of times for various reasons. I am here for some award functions, for some theatre work, for my film called Vanaprastham. I had the chance of showing that film to the President of India. And this is a great moment. Again, I'm coming back with a great film of ours. This is a Lucifer franchise, and we have 3 parts, and this is the second part. Because of Lucifer, this happened, and because of the acceptance of Lucifer, this happened. And now this film, it's like something close to our heart, and we have done a great job, I believe, because when you have a film and when you work so hard and when it's showing result, we should appreciate it. So it's getting released on 27th, and we have taken this film into a level where Malayalam film, when of course when you compare with the other language, the budget comes the first. But this is not the budgeted film, but we had the chance of shooting this film across the world. We have many things in Malayalam, like we are so rich in our film industry. We created the first CinemaScope film, first process 70mm film, first 3D film, first co-production film. Even my company only started the first co-production film with France called Vanaprastham. And now this is the first IMAX film from our industry. What Prithvi was saying was purely from his heart, that this film, it's becoming a big platform for the filmmakers to come and prove themselves that we can do great films like this. Definitely, you need a producer, you need an actor, but the possibility, we are just opening the possibility for them. What else I have to tell? About cooking, yeah, I cook. I love food. I had the chance of having food from various restaurants from this place. I know Delhi for years. Even while I was in school, I used to come, and my father was connected with the government service. He was a law secretary for the state, so I had the chance of coming here and staying here. And we have great friends, and definitely you can also say some restaurants, or you can take me for dinner, no problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yes.
No, I consider myself more than anything a student of cinema. I understand that the primary craft that I practice is acting, and I'm always going to be an actor first. But having said that, I am a student of cinema, and every opportunity I get to learn any craft in cinema, I will learn as much as I can. So for me, the entire process of filmmaking is a giant collaborative process where different people could be handling different things, same person could be handling multiple things, and I want to know, learn, practice, and exercise as many crafts as I can, because that is how you learn cinema. And forever, I hope I'll continue learning, because it's a wonderful medium, a wonderful form of art, where the more you learn, you realize there is so much more to learn. So yeah, I hope I forever remain as astute a student as I am today. Then yeah, if it seems like I'm being seamlessly good at all these things that I do, I'll take that as a huge compliment. It's always been a privilege to be able to be part of such an illustrious industry. And your second, I'm going to take the liberty of answering your second question as well. What I believe Malayalam cinema does differently from other industries. Since I'm an actor who's had the privilege of working in multiple industries, I do think maybe one takeaway you could, take from Malayalam cinema is the fact that we always do films and cinema with writers and writing as the fulcrum of it. Even Lucifer, even Empuraan, whatever cinema is happening in Malayalam, everything begins with the writer. The writer is who sets a project together. And that is how much power and respect we give our writers. Murali Gopi is the story, screenplay, and dialogue writer of this franchise. And I'm privileged to be able to direct the content that is being written by someone who I believe is one of the finest writers of the country. So maybe that's something other industries can take a leaf out of. Maybe you should start asking yourself, why isn't there a Salim Javed today? So first directed him, and I had the privilege of doing my first film with Mohanlal sir. I was a huge fan, and there were multiple moments where the fanboy in me indulged the director in me. But then I did a second and a third film, and now I'm an even bigger fan. So yes, the fanboy in me is still very much awake and flashing, and I make no qualms about it. There are multiple times when I've let the fanboy in me indulge the director in me. But that's okay. I think I'm a true Mohanlal fan. So it's almost like I feel it's my responsibility to not have a bad shot of Mohanlal sir in my film. And I'm first a fan of the actor that Mohanlal sir is. The fan of the star that Mohanlal sir is a distant secondary existence for me. So that way, I think I'll always make sure that in my cinema, I showcase him the way he truly deserves, to the best of my capabilities. Secondly, this film, or the whole world that this franchise exists in, was first born as an idea somewhere in 2016, 2017, when I don't even think Bahubali 1 had released, I'm not sure. So, terminologies like franchise, universe, sequel, prequel, part 1, part 2, chapter 1, chapter 2, and all were not in fashion back then. So this is not a second installment of a franchise that is born out of the success of part 1. This was always designed to be 3 films. Having said that, the best quality about Mr. Murali Gopi's writing as far as these 3 films are concerned is that I believe that each of these 3 films will have an existence as a standalone film as well. So I think for someone who's walking into a theater to watch the second part, that is Empuraan, you'll completely understand and relate to the film even if you have not seen part 1 of it. My hopes are that somebody who's seen this film and likes it will then want to go and discover the part 1 of it. But it is not going to be a case where you're going to watch this film and not understand the characters or plot if you have not seen part 1. And I'd like to maintain that quality for the third part of this franchise as well. So yeah, this is not a film that is born out of the newfound existence of the pan-India market. This was always ideated this way. Secondly, I really don't think a pan-Indian success can be designed. It has to organically happen. And how does it organically happen? Because you have a story that you want to say, you land on a method and a process through which you want to say that story, and then you be as honest as you can be with it. All the Hindi terrain dialogues, the English dialogues, the other languages that exist within this film are all part of it because the story organically travels like that. It was not me sitting with a pen and paper and deciding, let me have 30% of Hindi dialogues to 10% of Tamil dialogues. Let me cast one actor from there, let me cast one actor from here. I haven't gone down that route. I'm going to trust my content and I'm going to trust the way I have made this film for it to find appeal across the country and across the world. And I hope my expectations are rightfully placed. We will soon figure.
Another thing, the film is Hindi, pure Hindi. It's happening like in the North India. So nothing called Hindi or Malayalam. Okay.
सीख सके क्योंकि हिंदी सिनेमा खुद इस चक्कर में है कि वो किससे कुछ सीख ले.
There is a lot for everyone to learn from everywhere. I understand that the conversation and all the praises are around Malayalam cinema of late, but make no mistake, it wasn't too long back when we were sitting in Kerala across tables and thinking, man, how is Hindi cinema doing this? You know, there was a time not too far ago when maverick filmmakers like, you know, Anurag and Vikramaditya Motwane, Hansal Mehta, they all burst onto the scene and they started making content which made us think, wow, how are these guys doing it? Yes, currently Malayalam cinema is going through a great phase, but these phases happen to every industry periodically. Now, don't be surprised if a couple of years from now, the whole conversation is again going to be, look at Hindi cinema. We have finally found our direction. Now let's all look at them and see what we can do. So there are lessons to be learned everywhere. But one thing that is truly aspirational about Hindi cinema post the 90s has been how you have taken your cinema to the world. There is a lesson to learn there for everyone. Hindi cinema has been absolutely path-breaking in taking Indian cinema to the world, and for people around the world to discover content that's being made within this country. And for all regional languages, however much pan-Indian success we discover and find in the future, we will forever be indebted to Hindi cinema to have shown us the way. So there is a lesson to be learned there. The answer is going to be very similar to my answer for the previous question. We are privileged that Sunny Deol sir thinks he wants to come and live in the south of India. He's more than welcome to. We are big fans of Sunny Deol sir and his cinema. But I am from South Indian cinema and I live mostly in Bombay. So I don't know how qualified I am going to be to answer that question. But the writers, the fact that the power centers of every piece of cinema that is made are writers is something that I truly believe Malayalam cinema can be very, very proud of. Because ultimately the utility of the medium is to be telling a story. And a story is always born within the minds of a writer. It could be a writer-director or just a writer. But the fact is that my writer is not keeping well. He is not keeping physically well, or else he would have traveled with us and he would have been sharing the stage with us, because that's how much we respect the fact that it is his brainchild that we are all today have conceived into this film. I don't see that happening a lot in other states. I don't see that happening a lot in Bollywood, in Tamil cinema, in Telugu cinema, where you get to meet the writers behind films. But that used to be the case with Hindi cinema, you know. That used to be the case, like you and I know. Salim Javed were as big a stars as Bachchan sir or Manmohan Desai sir. Somewhere I think Hindi cinema has lost that root, and it's become algorithms and designs and all that. Maybe that's one lesson I'd keep reiterating, that Malayalam cinema should hold on to and never lose grasp of. Other than that, like I said, yeah, it's a phase. We had really bad phases as an industry too. We have gone through extended periods of time where we just were not able to come up with quality cinema. And then there would be a wave of new filmmakers, new writers who come and rediscover actors, a completely new filmmaker who'd come and do a film with someone like Mohanlal sir, who's been around for 4 decades, and make a startlingly original piece of cinema, and then there will be an awakening of sorts. Something like that will happen soon in Hindi cinema. It's not all doom and sad stories, it's just, you guys are still the biggest industry in the country in terms of volume and the number of films you make, so it'll happen.
See, watching Malayalam films, normally people will say, oh, you cannot make it in Hindi or in Telugu or Tamil. Definitely we can make. So for example, I have done some films on Alzheimer's, I've done some films on dual personality. So many films I have done. Very serious with bipolar disorder. Saying you can try and do it. Since he told we have very strong writers, means the beginning of the Malayalam film we used to take stories from the novels. There were great writers. Same thing happened everywhere, even Tamil also. So in between, somewhere, there was a missing. Definitely you can connect it and you can create great films in all languages. Or now it is called pan-Indian, whatever. You can see a Malayalam film in Hindi, or a Malayalam actors in Hindi, or in Telugu, Tamil. It's a great thing. Or a Hindi film in Malayalam. It's growing, like the industry is growing, and we don't have any complaints. Let it grow.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, that's wrong. It's more like 64 something now.
वो आज बढ़ चुके होंगे, maybe मैं कल की मैं
Correct.
And today we started Hindi also. So we'll answer the question after the
Sir,
No, none of these advanced booking data is created out of thin air. It's all available online. At least for Malayalam cinema right now, it's impossible for us to be just coming up with a figure like that because every theatre DCR is pretty much available online, and it's public domain. Anybody can go online and check what territory sold how many tickets, and you'll get the exact numbers. And these figures actually were first reported by others, not even by the makers. We are truly privileged, blessed, and humbled that we have been met with such anticipation. The numbers that we are discussing right now is usually the lifetime gross of a big Malayalam hit, which we have sort of gained through advance reservations. So we are really, really humbled and we are blessed, and we hope on the 27th we will meet those expectations. That's all that we are praying for. Sikandar is a huge, huge project. It's Salman sir, one of the biggest ever superstars that the country has ever seen. And as usual, he's coming on Eid with this banger of a commercial flick with A.R. Murugadoss sir. I wish the team the absolute best. I hope the film goes on to become a blockbuster. I will have no complaints if you watch 11 a.m. Sikandar and 1 p.m. Empuraan. Okay?
Mohanlal sir.
you are born to die. So no complaints.
For me, as an actor, it's the most memorable thing about this film for me. I would like to go back to Lucifer because it's very rare in an actor's life that a combination of a commercial success and a critical acclaim and the love from the audience, and also in such a big, huge project, you get to play one of your strongest roles ever. So that was such a, I would say, I would call it a real blessing and probably the best thing that has happened in my acting career. So that happened for me in Lucifer, and now the journey is continuing in Empuraan. So I really I'm fully grateful and hopeful that people will love the film more than they loved Lucifer. So for me, that excitement and the happiness of being part of such a huge franchise is the most memorable thing.
So one thing more, like we're convinced to हो गई हूँ.
If you would like to watch it, please go and watch
Convinced
it.
to हो गई हूँ.
No, the best thing, you watch Lucifer first, then watch Empuraan.
Because it's a sequel.
No, it's not a sequel. Okay,
That's,
I think
the director
he can
is-
give you more insight to that because if you watch,
You've not been concentrating in class. I actually specifically told you that the second part is a standalone film. So you will have no problems watching this film even if you have not seen Lucifer. But I'm counting on the fact that you will watch this film and then you will want to go back and revisit and discover the part 1 of the franchise. That's what I'm hoping for. But make no mistake, even if you haven't seen part 1, this film will be an absolutely complete experience in itself for you.
as an actor, what should I feel? We have created something and we are so proud of it, and this is the extension of that film. And Lucifer, have you seen film Lucifer?
Yes.
Okay. I put in the character called Stephen Nirupalli, and in the end of the film, you can also listen. I'm
So you're again not concentrating in class.
End of the film, Lucifer, in the film Lucifer, we are revealing that he has got another identity as Qureshi Abraham. So he's another personality. It can be a different character or his alter ego or whatever, a new person, a personality in him. So in this film, we are showing who is Qureshi Abraham. How the transformation, because people are confused, who is Qureshi Abraham? And like he said, you have to watch the third part also. Then only you will get the complete idea of this character. So for an actor to portray the 3 films, if the film is hit, we will think about the third part. It's a great thing. A lot of films are happening like that, but I have done Drishyam. Because of the success of the first part, we created the second one. This is already, it's in the paper, it is in his mind, it is in his intellect, in his intelligence, that everything is there. To create a kind of that world is not that easy. And how you are connecting Stephen with Qureshi Abraham and what is his journey. So I am also excited, and it's as an actor, it's one of my best roles I am portraying. Thank you, Pradeep.
So my
A
next.
bit earlier when we were in the same press con. So for me, it's just one giant collaborative process. Cinema for me is just one process where multiple people could be doing multiple roles, or the same person could be doing multiple roles. So to me, somehow it doesn't seem like it's a giant extra effort to be directing myself, or of course, between the two crafts, direction is more labor intense and more thought process intense, because there is constant decision making upon different areas of the filmmaking process that you have to be doing. Other than that, when I'm directing a film and I have to direct myself within it, like I have for this one, it doesn't come across as an extra giant effort for me. It's just part of the process. Yeah, of course, it will be one of my assistants who will be calling roll, camera, action and all that. But other than that, to me, I don't feel like I'm making a giant extra effort. Where I see this franchise has got one more film. Now the fact that the first part was such a big success and went on to gain cult status amongst cinephiles is the reason why I was able to do second part, because the second part was always a very ambitious, bigger, larger canvas film. The same way, only if second part garners a giant success will I be able to pull off the final and third part of the franchise that I have envisioned in my mind, because that is a big film.
If I say something about Drishyam 3, it's my God, that is the most secret thing I have to hold in my mind. It's on the pipeline, we are preparing. It is not that easy. Drishyam 2 happened, and it's a big challenge to make Drishyam 3. And we are on the process of that. Let it happen, and we don't want to disappoint you, so we should be very careful. Okay, I cannot make any comments on that because it's on the pipeline.
I had nothing. I had no second thoughts about saying yes to Lucifer, because everyone who knows about Raju Prithviraj knows that how much passionate he is about his films and how much of a good director he is going to be when he directs a film, because of people who have interacted with him know how much knowledge he has and how much of a vision he has. So when the project Lucifer was announced in the beginning with only Lalatan's name in it, so I was one of those actors who thought, oh my God, I wish I could be part of such a film. So then, but when the call came, I was hoping and praying for that call to happen, and when that call came, I was super duper happy to say yes. And now, being part of Lucifer and now Empuraan, I just want to say a big thanks to dear Raju and Lalatan for having such huge dreams and visions for Malayalam cinema and actually going ahead and making it a reality. So I'm just proud to be part of this team and part of the franchise.
For some reason, I don't know, Tamil, I've done two big films, but both the films have had some kind of a blockage, and I yet to release. One was Naragasuran, and then one was Mohandas. Both these films are completed, but then I really don't know when they're going to release. But then you'll soon see me in Hindi actually, so that's there. So that's coming this year.
See, I can give you a best case scenario. You can watch Empuraan in Tamil on 27th. Yeah, all your complaints will be addressed. Once we started building on the character that is Stephen Nedumballi, it is going to be a process where you slowly through the narrative discover how big he actually is. Like my writer correctly put it, the character is very much like the tip of an iceberg, and you just slowly discover how big and the magnitude of the characterization is. But we also knew in our minds that at what particular point in the franchise is he going to meet what could potentially be an equal or even greater force, and where that force will come into play and how it will come into play at what point in the franchise. So like Lal sir said, for you to know that arc completely, the actual giant force that could eventually take on Qureshi Abram, if you want to know that arc completely, you will first have to go to theaters and watch this film and make it a huge success, because only then will I be able to make a part 3, and only in part 3 will you know that story completely. Yeah.
तो मैं कुछ नहीं बता पाऊंगा, बिकॉज अब तो 27th को फिल्म आ रही है, तो आप खुद देख लेंगे. एक्सपीरियंस मेरा बहुत कमाल का रहा. दरअसल इसके पहले काफ़ी साउथ इंडियन फिल्म्स में मैंने काम किए हैं, पर ये मेरा मलयालम सिनेमा का डेब्यू है, और इसको मैं ड्रीम डेब्यू कह सकता हूँ. मोहनलाल सर के साथ काम करने का मौका मिला पहली ही मलयाली मूवी में, और ऑल थैंक्स टू पृथ्वी, जिन्होंने सोचा, पता नहीं कहाँ से सोचा, इनके राइटर ने इनको कन्विंस किया और ये फाइनली कन्विंस हुए, और इन्होंने कहा कि मुझे अभिमन्यु सिंह ही चाहिए इस रोल के लिए, और बहुत अच्छी फिल्म शेप अप हुई है. और बहुत मजा आएगा देखने में आप लोग को। 27 को आप लोग जाएं सब लोग और इस फिल्म को ह्यूज सक्सेसफुल मतलब बनाएं, यही मेरा गुजारिश है आप लोगों से।
Thank you so much.